Welcome to a brand new edition of It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
And I'm Timothy.
And today we're discussing Wrestling's Forbidden Door, Cody and Brandy, Rhodes, Shane McMahon, AEW, WWE, Impact, and so much more. So sit back, press play, turn that volume up, and get ready for an all-new episode right here on the It's All Relative podcast.
Sounds great. Wrestling all day, every day.
Yes, sir. Before we get started, though, bro, I think it's only right to quickly address that every guest we've ever had on the show from beginning till present, you know, there's always a bond that's created. Mm-hmm. They forever become a part of the It's All Relative family.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
agree?
Right. I agree, 100%.
Okay. You know, one thing we've always tried to direct to the guest is our gratitude toward them for helping us create art and history,
Mm-hmm.
you know. With all that being said, we've lost a friend, a brother, a sweet soul. Our deepest condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones. Rest in peace, Avi Harindranath.
Jesus.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, he was a guest on our show. And, you know, I'm grateful for the fact that we were able to create what we did with him.
Yes, sir.
Know?
Yeah.
And because of that, you know, when we miss hearing his voice, you know, we can fade away for that hour and a half and listen to the artwork that he's left to the world.
Oh, yeah.
You
I've
know?
listened to it quite a number of times. Yeah.
Yeah, as many others have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the brother was very smart. He was too smart for his own good, especially when the podcast aired and everything,
Mm-hmm.
of which I just wanted to mention, if you guys haven't listened to it, is episode 24. And the title was Tesla Cars and Robots with Avi Harindranath.
Yeah.
Namaste. That brother was amazing. He was amazing. He came in and he basically he took over the show. Let's just be honest. He took over the show for that moment to tell us about Tesla. I mean, we even talked a little bit about stocks in there. We talked about robots and what may happen. I even remember for a short moment, he got into there talking about hacking. So the brother knew a lot about technology. He loved technology. And he could explain it in such a way that it was really simple so that people that didn't get it, they could understand it. And the world has lost a good one. The world has lost a good one.
Yeah, so, you know, rest in peace, Avi.
Rest in peace.
You know, every time I see a Tesla, I'll think of you, bro.
Yes, sir.
But let's shift gears. Let's hit these ropes. Helping us bring back a fan favorite topic and still holding down one of the top 5 most viewed episodes in It's All Relatives history. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Cody Wood.
Welcome back, brother.
What's going on, boys? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man. Thanks for agreeing to come back on, my man. How's everything been with you since the last time we've seen you?
Been good. Well, can't complain. You know, took on a new job, so things are pretty all right.
Yeah, congratulations.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. You were here first time in December of 2020, then back on January 2021, and now 2022, about time we talk some wrestling again. So before we do that, let's just say, you know, so much has happened in the world of professional wrestling since we've all been together. So
a lot has.
Yeah, where to start? I think the biggest and hottest, most talked about subject right now is Cody and Brandy Rhodes leaving AEW.
Interesting.
This guy.
So Tuesday, February 15th, it was announced officially. So groundbreaking news.
Interesting news.
Yeah. What's going on here? Let's get your guys' thoughts on this.
It's like you would think he would be all right being, you know, what was he, executive vice president?
Mm-hmm.
You'd think he'd kind of be all right with that, with like the whole, he basically was one of the main catalysts to starting that own company.
Right, he was.
You'd think
he was one of the main pillars.
But I've heard so many different reasons of why he might have left that. And it's like, you'd think that might be what you want. If you wanted to bring something different to the table for
Right.
wrestling. Get away from sports entertainment or whatever. Bring back wrestling.
Actual wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I mean, go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say real quick. He was with the AEW company for the last 3 years.
I mean, he helped create it.
Yeah, create it. Yeah.
As you guys had mentioned, he is a founding member, and he was the executive vice president.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess when you guys first heard that this has happened, what was your first initial emotion?
He going back to WWE.
That's what you think?
That's what I think. I think he's going right back. Shane McMahon don't care.
I just didn't get it because that was what I thought. Like where you were with about it, but then I started hearing reasons of why he might have want to
leave.
depart.
Right.
Which were expand on that. What have you heard?
Money issues, creative things, you know.
So it's interesting that you say creative things because, I mean, he's one of the people that helped like evolve AEW. I know I haven't watched AEW as much as WWE, but he created a lot, like he gave it more of like that fast and loose approach that people like. It seems a little bit more real. But at the same time, that makes you wonder, like, why the hell is he leaving? Like, why is he going back to like WWE where everything is like super scripted and everything?
I think what he's trying to stay like a baby. He's trying to stay a baby face, but
Really?
he could easily lean into a heel, but I don't think he wants to.
You don't think he wants to be a heel?
No, I think he wants to try and be like the good guy, but he could easily just lean into a heel and ride a good heel run.
That's true.
But
I don't know.
What are you thinking, brother? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You're getting jittery over that.
Let's just think back to the last two times he was in WWE.
Okay.
He didn't do shit. He was misused. It was he basically.
I really
got
liked him
buried.
back in the dashing and then the grotesque days. Remember when he had the little mustache going on, and then after that he came out with like paper bags and he had the mask over his face because he was, I'm deformed.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't ever really a fan of his in WWE. Although I will say that his finisher move is still one of my favorite moves in wrestling. So, but yeah, I don't know.
Like Stardust, the only way I would ever saw that working is a tag team with Goldust.
Goldust?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're right. That's the only way.
Because they're brothers. So.
So misused. That's why when he left WWE and then went and did his whole indie run, basically built up
which
his
was good
name.
because as soon as he saw that, I saw him at one of the Northeast Wrestling. Great local promotion out of Newburgh, I believe they are. And I saw them at one of the Wrestling Under the Stars at the the Hudson Valley Stadium where the Renegades play. And as soon as he left, he posted basically a hit list of all the matches he wanted to wrestle. One of them was Kurt Angle, and that's where I saw him wrestle Kurt Angle for the first time.
How was that match?
It was good. It was great because it was, I mean...
How many spears did he take?
A lot of it was nostalgic, too, because seeing Kurt Angle, I remember watching him wrestling on TV way back in the day. So that was good, and it was the first time I saw Cody wrestle. So I was like, oh, he's got the same name, so I'm getting in on with this boy. But that was good, but I don't know. I still just don't get why it's like. I feel like that's what you wanted. You would have created your thing, but I'm not in his shoes, so I don't know. I don't know what he sees. But just from what I see, I'm like, well. I just don't know because I'm not in that position. But
do you think you don't think it's a money thing, do you? Like more than anything.
That is something that I've seen a lot of. I've heard a lot of because I've heard he wants to be one of the highest paid guys, but like his talent isn't there.
Yeah. That's actually it's actually interesting. A lot of other people in there seem to, on either side, they seem to want a little bit more money
Or, I mean, not just talent.
That were
isn't there,
the
but,
talent, right?
you know, like being kind of like steadfast in what he wants to do. Or
Okay. So he wants to do it. He wants to play himself his own, like a very specific way. You're trying to say?
Well, I'd say let's get real. He's not Kenny Omega, or he's not
superstar status.
Yeah,
I will agree with that. He's good, but he's not the greatest.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I don't really. I mean, like we said, we're just speculating right now. For me, though, I wouldn't say so much that it's a money issue.
Okay.
Right now, he's a host of a reality show, the Go Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
He just recently had a newborn with his wife Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
Which that was another thing that I've heard could be another angle of money reasons of leaving, because he now has a child.
Okay.
Well, correct.
Which, anybody with any
Right,
reason to have a
of course.
child.
That's a big
more
reason.
money comes around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, money or not with that, it could be just simply, he has done a lot. It could just be now he's ready for some family time. So maybe it's as simple as that.
Easier schedule, perhaps.
Maybe.
From being... But it's like if you wanted to settle into a easier role, not so much travel, wouldn't you think that as a executive vice president?
All right.
You could
So more of an
into
executive
like
role.
Office role kind of thing?
Right.
More
A much
in a
more
permanent
cushy
location?
position. Right.
But who knows? Maybe he didn't want that. Wrestlers want to wrestle. So
It's very true.
I have heard rumors, and once again, they're just rumors, you know what I'm saying? But there is a book that was written by his father, I believe, Dusty Rhodes.
Yep.
Okay. And I believe that in that book, it was said that Cody wanted to be an actor more than he wanted to be a wrestler. And this goes back to years and years and years ago. So he loves wrestling, always wanted to be a wrestler. But if I could pick one thing, if I couldn't be a wrestler, what else would you want to be?
Okay.
An actor. Which we've seen that path with many, many wrestlers. They've been wrestlers and they go on that quote-unquote
acting. Yo, The Rock is on top.
Some do, exactly. Yeah. Rock is a fucking star.
He's a star.
Right?
Batista on top, too.
Yeah, Rock's done it. Stone Cold's done it.
Stone Cold didn't do very well, though. Not as well. Yeah.
No, so many have.
Batista.
The list goes on and on and on with that. But, I mean, you mentioned
also,
Tim.
Don't forget Ready to Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking wrestling movies.
Mm-hmm. Tim, you mentioned going back to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So you think he's jumping ship back to WWE?
Yeah.
Now you remember? Let's go back to when AEW first started and they had their first pay-per-view. You remember? And his first match was against
the initial All In.
Yes, and his first match was against his brother. And do you remember anything about this match or his entrance? Either of you? Mm-hmm. Did you see it? This was when.
This when he cracked the throne?
Yes.
With the sledgehammer.
Yes, which initially is basically like a big fuck you to Triple H and the WWE.
Okay.
And now we going back to WWE. Okay,
to Triple H.
What's going on with all this? If he goes back to WWE, how do you guys think he'll do?
I mean, I actually just recently started to watch WWE product.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff like releases of excellent talent that I don't understand why.
They're all underused.
But then again, it's like I also understand some rosters just getting so super loaded. You don't have airtime for everybody. I know like AEW does a lot of YouTube shows.
Right.
Dark
yeah.
Elevation. But yeah, it's like even with AEW, a lot of the initial talent that started with the company is kind of, I don't see a lot of them anymore.
Right.
So like when I do, it's, excellent. They get a huge pop out of me, but they get so deep that, I mean, I'm not.
AEW has become their roster has become, I think,
super loaded,
overcrowded. There's too much talent there for everyone to do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So that was going to be like actually coming off of what Cody was saying. I was wondering which part of WWE would he come back on? Like, would he go back to, or would he go to NXT, or would he go to somewhere else?
I wouldn't see him being NXT.
No, I mean, even in like an executive role.
Although
I mean,
my view, I have like no idea about what this new NXT 2.0 or whatever it is about. I've just heard it's not great, but I just remember the old black and gold NXT back in the day.
It does not compare to the black and gold.
No,
back in the
it's
day,
a completely different show.
Like that shirt you're wearing right there, Certified G.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Enzo. But I think if Cody Rhodes goes back to the WWE, or what would have drawn him back to the WWE, it would have had to been like then what you had mentioned too, Cody.
I feel
a huge amount of money.
If that's where he goes, it's just a power grab from WWE's side. They're like, let's just fucking get him. Get what it takes. Take their EVP away.
Right. Interesting. That's an interesting way of taking it.
But if we go down the creative line, if they're actually giving right now, WWE doesn't give anybody really too much leeway with their own creative thing. There are a few right now where I know for a fact that Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, they have do what you do. Everyone else is basically scripted. Cody Rhodes comes in. They, like I said, I feel like the only thing that they can offer him to leave something like AEW to go to WWE is maybe you can be, we'll offer you the title.
Right.
Okay. But what? Cody Rhodes is going to beat Roman Reigns?
Right.
Cody Rhodes is going to beat Brock Lesnar?
No, there's no way.
Come on. That's not...
They about to destroy each other soon, so there you go.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let me just say that too about since I said I just started watching some WWE product again because I was just like, it's been like 3 years since I watched. Let me just give it a try, see how it's going. So like,
how are you liking it?
Last Monday night on Raw is like, it was great to see the Street Profits again.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I always liked them, and they had a great match.
Okay.
And then just seeing a couple of the guys, it was great. But then there was the other half of the matches were like, how many fucking times am I going to see this? This is kind of why I stopped watching. It's the same.
Same script.
And I feel like the story is just the same. If it's the same, a very long ongoing angle, but the story's changed and it's evolved.
Right.
But I feel like it's just all kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
Except, I mean, like, I just got back into it, so it could be totally different. Like, seeing Brock Lesnar looking like a fucking country-ass motherfucker.
He's all, like, grizzled and everything.
Yeah, he's got this beard.
Beard and everything. Looks intimidating.
I mean, I know he's out living in some country, but it's like, I haven't seen him looking no country.
Right.
Now I'm like,
He looked like a bear, literally.
What?
Yeah.
Well, right now, for the WWE... I feel he's the one that's keeping them afloat right now because he came back as basically a babyface now, which has changed everything.
I seen he kicked Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Brock actually has time on the mic.
I do think he's a little rough on the mic
because he's always had Paul Heyman to speak for him. Yeah. But the freedom for him to say what he wants to say on the mic, to do what he does. A few weeks ago on Raw, I believe it was before the Elimination Chamber match. They had all the people who were going to be fighting all in one ring, and a bright new upcomer, whatnot, in WWE. I feel he's one of their future kids is Austin Theory, but Brock Lesnar threw him around like a little rag doll. And then after...
Just like the old days.
So Austin Theory is always known for taking selfies and shit, right?
Right.
And so after he was knocked out, Brock picks up his phone, picks his head up, and they both take a little selfie. That shit was all over Instagram. It was a hilarious picture.
Oh, my God.
But Brock Lesnar right now is the high point of WWE right now.
The
storyline that they're doing with him is... pretty good.
Do you think that Brock could take it, or either of you, do you think that Brock could take it to like Attitude Era and beyond?
You just reminded me.
What's that?
Dipping back to the Cody Rhodes again.
Okay.
That tease they had in Miz's promo.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was like, my partner coming back is dashing.
See, there you go.
And you're like, dashing Cody Rhodes? Yeah?
It was scary.
Could be who? But then, who the fuck was it? What's his name?
Logan Paul
Yeah.
or Jake Paul, one of the two
One of
Paul
motherfuckers.
brothers.
Who's that?
I was happy that it was him.
Who
and
is that? Is that the boxer?
Yeah. Yo, he whooping ass. They both whooping ass.
I don't know this. Was he the YouTube guy?
Yeah, both of them.
I don't know these people. I'm old.
Bro, look them up, man. Like, yo, before I used to talk mad shit about both of them as far as boxing. They actually taking that shit serious.
I use my YouTube for wrestling and music.
If you trust, yo. But anyways, just to bring it back.
Yeah, real quick, let's just touch on continue with the whole Cody Rhodes thing. I just want to say that, we remember, everybody as a fan can remember that Cody's last televised match was against Sammy Guevara in a ladder match for the TNT titles, which was absolutely incredible.
And they weren't they building an angle against American Top Team?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't...
Like Brandy come out slapping, what's his name? Fat face dipshit.
Yeah. Dan Lambert.
Yeah, that's his name. Sorry. Yeah. Adult language.
No, you good. You good, bro. You good.
But either way, that ladder match was so good. Like, you could not be a fan of either. Like, you could not like Sammy Guevara or Cody Rhodes. But if you watched that match, you would have still been blown away as a wrestling fan. I mean, catching a crossroads off the ladder, catching that cutter.
I would have had to pull for the Spanish God.
It was an incredible match. That being his last match in AEW was wild. To go from that match then to announcing that you're leaving. He did put everything he had into AEW. He's gonna forever have burn marks and scars on his back from trying to entertain the fans,
You were the only man to come out with the entrance in the center, man. Come on, you didn't come out of either side. You didn't come out of the baby side. You didn't come out of the heel side. You came out of the center.
That's right.
Right.
Giving blood and flesh to the company and decides to leave. So, don't know why. We're going to wait and see, though. I mean, let's, real quick before we move on, is he going back to WWE?
Sure.
Or is he done wrestling?
Oh, back to WWE for sure.
I don't, he teased that retirement like once he's like, I'm going to take my boots off. I'm going to leave him in the ring.
How old is he?
I don't know if he's done wrestling.
He's not done. He's 36, ain't he?
It's not like he's had any major injuries, at least to my knowledge. Like no big neck. I know people that have had major neck injuries and come back.
And came back, right.
Wrestled through them even or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Or even worse.
Yeah.
Broken backs and everything.
So then you're on board with WWE or
free agent
where he's
forever.
going?
Or what he's doing, yeah.
That's what I've heard everything point to, but I always try to remain like ignorant to all of it because I want the surprise of it. That's what makes it so much fun for me is I try to not look at anything. I try to really not follow many of them so that when I watch it, it's just like, whoa, what?
So you'd be pleasantly surprised.
The initial shock.
That's
the
what
real
makes
life.
it fun for me. Like, because my favorite is seeing it live, but when I'm watching it televised, I try to not know. So when I watch it at TV, I can go a little crazy at home.
Right. Well, the biggest one that I remember is CM Punk coming back. The world's still losing their mind over it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
All right, so let's stick with some head scratching moves, though. All right, let's just shift gears over to WWE.
Sure.
Who have announced that they have released Shane McMahon. Crazy. Shane was a producer in this year's Royal Rumble that took place January 29th. Let's not forget that, he's the son of the owner of the entire thing. So, little strange.
Little Shane O'Mac. Yeah, it's kind of strange, bro. It's kind of strange.
Like, I don't know. I feel like that's just too family to really be.
You think so? Do you think?
It's Shane McMahon.
But I mean, like, do you think
he's not just your average wrestler? It's Shane McMahon.
For sure, for sure. But my biggest question is, do you think
it's like the announcement of it? I feel is weird.
It's weird. Okay.
Not just that they're shaking him, but like the announcement of it. Shane McMahon. Who cares?
Right.
He even was like proud of I have basically a Netflix company in China. I've got my own life outside of this company.
Right.
Before he came back, he was like, I don't have to come back.
Okay, I feel what you're saying.
I've left and got my own game together.
Right.
I'm doing my own thing. Mm-hmm. I'm surviving with the McMahon name not being attached to wrestling.
So then a different question would be, do you think that they just did that to just play it up? Do you think that they already, internally, they already had figured out him leaving?
I mean, that's just why I say I think it's like the announcement I feel is like the weird part.
Yeah.
I mean, they would say something because it is Shane McMahon. But
right.
Well, this all did come after the pay-per-view, which didn't do well. Especially the Royal Rumble match, which he was in, and he put that shit together.
Right.
Pay-per-view was fucking horrible. Men's Royal Rumble match was absolute shit.
Okay.
Then
and then they just
following day.
Who won that, by the way?
Brock.
Good for him.
No, typical. Yeah, absolutely. And he comes. What's it called? I believe he was the last entry.
See, that's what I mean by I don't pay attention to any of it, so I'm surprised. I haven't watched WWE product. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's okay. So
when it comes to WWE and stuff, drop some knowledge on me.
It's typical. It's still, that's what I'm saying. It's not, the Royal Rumble match was not good. Like we said, Brock won. It was very predictable.
I guess my viewings of things that I watched recently was just good to see my boys again. Not real. It's like the product is just the same.
It's just still the same.
It's just good to see him again.
I will say that
it's there's Street Profits. Look, there's Tommaso Ciampa. There's Finn Balor. Wow.
Within the last few weeks, WWE has gotten better with some of their storylines and whatnot. The whole angle they're doing with Brock and Roman to finally unify one title, to get both of those two each having separate title shit is stupid.
Okay.
So
let me ask you a question. I just wanted to slide in with a question.
Chris Jericho, the only undisputed champion.
Chris Jericho, shout outs to him. Yo, he's about to have one too. Let me ask you a question real quick. What would it take it's for both of you? What would it take for them to finally bring WWE back to prominence? Because no one cares about WWE stuff anymore unless it's like a person of prominence going from there and going to AEW. So what can WWE do, especially with Brock Lesnar?
Well, what they're doing right now with him is they're doing everything right.
Okay.
They're, like I said, changing him to a baby face and letting him do what he does right now is... Fans love it.
Right.
The
Does he need to catch an L though? Does he need to lose something every so often for it to be interesting?
Well, for me, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like I say, I haven't seen it in a while. Just seeing him in this angle, cutting loose on Paul Heyman, shut your mouth.
Right.
I'm like,
oh, okay.
What's going on? I want to see more of this. I haven't seen Brock going wild on his own in a minute. He's always had Paul in front speaking for him, and he just stands there kind of bouncing around.
Right.
And then
slapping his face and everything.
And then just yokes him up and then yells a little bit.
Right.
I like hearing him on the mic. I want him to do it more so that he can work on it.
Okay.
Get better at it.
Okay.
Just from what I've seen, I like Brock without Paul.
Without Paul? Yo, Paul has never been a good front man.
Well, that's why it makes this whole story that's going to happen at WrestleMania so good, is because Roman's fighting Brock. The winner gets the one belt because they are unifying it all. Mm-hmm. And no one knows what Paul Heyman's going to do. Whose side is he going to choose? He spent such a long period of time with Brock.
Right.
Left Brock to go to Roman.
Right.
Been with Roman forever. Then it was teased that he was going to leave Roman again to go with Brock. Didn't happen. He's still with Roman. who knows what's going to happen at WrestleMania?
How's Roman's run doing?
Been forever, bro.
Is it good? I've heard everybody loves him now.
The whole head of the table story has been pretty good. Him and the Usos have, like I said, that storyline with Brock is what's carried WWE. Everything
I see how
else
that
is
could
trash.
be a pretty solid faction.
Yeah. So let's just finish real quick with last thoughts about Shane McMahon. What's going on? What's he doing? Where's he going?
Shane's about to live his life and do his own business.
That's a hard thought for me because, like I said, he's not like your average wrestler. He's an older dude who's taken like lots of heavy fucking bumps and still has in his older age. I'm not saying like he's done, he's used up, washed up, but like I don't know.
So not wrestling wise, but
it's not like he's an exploding young youth, you know.
Is he making the jump like Cody Rhodes is? Shane McMahon going to become part of the AEW family, business-wise or whatnot, while Cody Rhodes is going to go to WWE?
Like, at the moment, I think it would be like a hard... I don't see how they could use a good angle at it, but...
Maybe.
You know, come up with a good angle, it's going to surprise me, so...
Okay.
Either way, both of those I feel like are initial fuck yous to both companies.
To both companies, yeah.
Shane McMahon fucking going to AEW. What the fuck?
Dude, each one of those is basically a power move. I got your EVP. I got your McMahon.
Exactly.
I got some of your blood over here.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, let's be real.
But then they're each like, oh, it's not a war. It's not a war. But AEW is really the first good heavy competition that WWE's had. You know, there's always been Impact, which is coming to the Civic Center in Poughkeepsie pretty soon.
Yeah,
2 nights in a row.
Well, we're going to touch on that shit later because Impact is doing its thing. But
I don't know. I don't get it, so I can't watch it.
Before we go on break, I just want to real quickly say something else happened today. Cesaro, familiar?
Yep, Cesaro.
Yo!
Left WWE.
I heard he just quietly slipped away.
And now he's free agent
They
status.
let him go.
Great. Good. He is an excellent wrestler. Cesaro is great.
Okay.
And they didn't do shit with him either.
No, dude, that man is a powerhouse.
He's a powerhouse.
He's a killer.
Yeah. What, he only had like one title? Like I think it was USA belt. He only had the one, and
We had a long tag
long tag.
title with...
Dude, he could have any title.
He can. Yeah, exactly.
Sheamus.
That man's a killer in the ring, Cesaro.
Exactly. So wait, before we go, do you think he's going to AEW? No one has said anything, but he's free agent status, and they have a non-compete
All
clause
I
on
know
him.
is that non-compete clauses are usually 90 days.
Yeah,
Yes.
90. Yeah,
Ride it out and then just go somewhere where they're going to use you properly.
right.
Like, I mean, you know, that's just what I want for the people. That's what I just want for them because that's all they want is just to be used properly. If I can't watch, just get used the way you should be.
Right.
Cesaro is a great wrestler. He's awesome.
Well, apparently, at least a lot what a lot of the news people said is that WWE gave him an offer and he didn't like it, so he just said nah. He just dipped.
That could just come down to a thing of he doesn't feel like he's being utilized the way that I put this on the table and I'm putting steak and you guys want the Gordon's fish sticks.
The Gordon's fisherman.
Yeah,
I hear it, man. I hear it.
which I get because then it's like when some of them break out and then they have a great match that say you get to see on like an indie scene when they just come out. It's like, yeah, go do that.
Go do it, right?
Go do it somewhere that's going to use you right.
Well, I tell you what, the Twitter has gone absolutely nuts over it too. The memes are insane. So apparently everyone is happy that he did not take the deal with WWE.
Like, let me say, like, because of your shirt with Enzo, I saw him when he was with WWE. I saw his last match ever at the Civic Center when he was the Cruiserweight champion. And then after that, everything that happened. And then I saw him again at the Civic Center against Brian Pillman Jr. as Enzo. He came out, no music, just dark. Just tied him up the whole time. Tied him up, got the pin, and just walked out, left. Yep,
I remember that. But my opinion on the whole Cesaro thing,
Respect it.
I think it's the greatest thing that could have happened for him.
Exactly.
Simply because he was misused for years in WWE. They didn't know what to do with him.
10 years.
So was it 10 years?
I think it's about 10 years. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Sometimes he got used right, but then it just grew stale. It's like they didn't evolve it, or whatever.
No, it was all shit.
That's always how it felt. No.
He is, like you said, his talent. He's a world champion.
He goes, it's all shit.
He's a world champion. And he was
definitely
never,
is.
So, but I think for right now, if he were to go to AEW right now, I think that's the worst move that he could do.
See, that's very interesting that you say that.
Yeah, why? What do you think?
First off, like we had said,
is it like we
right
said,
now,
too many on rosters?
Yeah,
You'll just
AEW's
get buried in the mix.
Too big right now. Okay, Cesaro has been misused forever. So if you're not a wrestling fan and you don't watch WWE, you don't really know who Cesaro is. I feel like he needs to do the same thing that Cody Rhodes did, was hit that fucking indie scene, build your name back up crazy. You got crazy buzz. Or let me dip off real quick to New Japan. Let me do my thing over there.
What you got?
Let me build up my whole name, my character, whatever he does, because once again, he's world champion talent.
Right. So give us the timeline. How long does that take? Like, should he hit the indie scene for like 2 years?
Or do you mean just go grind it out and just
whoop ass and then just
hit
back?
different things,
Right.
hard refresh, get different styles worked through you, loosen up to
Interesting.
everything kind of thing?
For a year.
Okay.
And then I guarantee you, he could sign with, I mean, if he was offered, which I'm sure, I mean, you'd be stupid not to want to sign Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever he's ready, anybody, you know what I'm saying, he can sign anywhere.
I get that. Dude, that's a good idea on like a couple different levels. Go, like, just like you said, hit the indie scene, go around.
Yeah.
Like,
build your whole shit so far up again to where you're basically like, you're the man, all right? And then any company is going to offer you big bucks to come and give me your talent. You can see, I mean, could you picture after a year, Cesaro coming back or signing, let's say he signs with AEW, goes after a world title. That would be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Right?
Okay.
He wouldn't go to WWE again, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah, he's done
no
with
matter
it.
where he goes, same thing like with Mox. When Mox left, he hit indie scene, New Japan. How many belts did he hold? Everywhere he went,
Yeah,
Cesaro should do
basically.
the same thing.
Interesting.
He had a Northeast run again.
That's right.
Local plug. I love you, Northeast Wrestling.
But let's take a quick break, all right? And when we come back, we will talk about the Forbidden Door, Best Wrestler, Best Match, Best Submission, and The Undertaker, and so much more. So you don't want to miss it, so stay with us right here on the It's All Relative podcast.
In the game now, shit's the same now. Explode next mode. I'm the same how. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you see me sliding off to another crib. Boom, in the game now. I'm the same how. The rap game will never be the same now. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you hear YO, say that's that shit.
Welcome back to It's All Relative. Still with us in the studio, Cody Wood. Now, let's talk about the Forbidden Door. Everyone familiar?
Not as.
Okay, well, essentially, it's one wrestling promotion working with another, right? So it sounds easy and straightforward, but it's really not. Okay. So Tony Khan, really the man behind AEW, he has recently opened that door, and we've been blessed to see so many dream matches, bro.
Okay.
So can you guys recall any matches you've seen due to the Forbidden Door?
I've always liked to see the Good Brothers coming over.
Yeah, that was cool. Their work on AEW and then back on Impact.
Yeah.
Can we consider like a lot of the ECW stuff when they used to come over to WWE or WWF at the time, or when it was like NWO and stuff? Can you consider that?
No, because that was more like ECW was bought out.
Right.
But way back in the day, ECW did kind of like some shit. I was like, we're just gonna do some shit.
Right. Where they're just gonna do stuff.
But then they did get bought out, and then like a lot of that was like angle stuff. But it's like, say, AEW working with Impact or New Japan, or even potentially like WWE, just different promotions, because usually, especially WWE, they like ignore other promotions, don't acknowledge them at all. It's just them and their stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. Do they bring their storylines over and whatnot too? Or does it get like is it just like a dream match, almost like a mix-up type of deal?
That's what's like cool about it is like you can have different promotions that have totally different angles and different groups of wrestlers and different cliques and stories going on, and you can get totally different matches going on from people that may know each other from, say, 10 years ago or whatever.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Can you, Cody? Can you recall any matches that you've seen due to the Forbidden Door? Oh, you did say the Good Brothers. Can you think of another?
Oh, well, let's see. Like, like AEW recently, they've had a lot of the guys from New Japan coming over, a lot of the Japanese guys coming through, and it's even, say, like a lot of them, I don't even know who they are, but it's putting eyes on different talents that you may not see.
Right.
Just because, say, somebody's like, this is a good promotion, you should get in touch with this guy, see if they want to work together just for a match or two.
Okay.
Maybe somebody's old buddies from back in the day, and they're like, yeah, we'd work together again just for a match, see what's going on, just get eyes on, asses in seats just to see different matches of different people, get knowledge about different promotions, what's going on, different people wrestling.
Yeah, I'm all about it. I love this idea that the Forbidden Door is actually open. One match that I thought of was, which I know you saw too, Cody, was when Chris Jericho was having his beef with MJF, and he had to go through those certain stages or pillars.
I think I know where you're going.
And when Nick Gage from GCW showed up, that shit was awesome.
Game changer wrestling, yep. Nick fucking Gage.
Which, that's a dream match,
MDK
right?
MDK all fucking day.
Yeah. Bro, that was so, like, AEW, their work that they did with New Japan and Impact has been amazing. Back and forth with the whole Impact stuff. Right now, because we know that Ring of Honor no longer is open or exists. Yeah. Right?
We've seen Jay Lethal floating around. He's with AEW now, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. Which I will say that I love. I'm a big fan of Jay Lethal. He's actually been the guy that I was most excited about coming through that Forbidden Door.
Remember back when he was Black Machismo?
Oh my!
Basically, the Black Randy Savage.
So I remember. I remember that. I remember him trolling Ric Flair too. Oh my God, that's probably one of the best promos I've ever seen. The woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, it's hilarious. He's real cool. I was excited about him, but actually, I actually. Right now, what AEW is doing with Jay White, I think is phenomenal. He did. Jay White actually was involved.
It's just to put it. This is a plus about the the door. It introduces new wrestlers to people. I don't know a whole lot about him, so now I'm seeing him and I'm like, what's he got to offer?
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, he was huge in New Japan. He was part of Impact's pay-per-view, No Surrender, on Saturday, and he actually turned on his members or fellow members of the Bullet Club.
Damn.
Which, but I do want to real quickly talk though about Impact, because we mentioned Ring of Honor. It's awesome. Since you said, Cody, that you haven't really seen too much of Impact, and what about you, Tim?
Oh, I've definitely not seen.
Another reason why I like the Forbidden Door, I might possibly get to see some people from Impact.
Yeah, because Impact has done super well. Their roster right now is super exciting. I would even say that they're the second overall promotion right now. But what's happened is a certain group has showed up on Impact. and they go by the name of Honor No More, which is dope because it's members of Ring of Honor. You got Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis, Matt Taven.
Matt Taven.
Wow.
I was actually just going to say, remember when we saw him?
Yep.
Matt Taven, yep.
PCO.
Oh, yo.
Who else?
He's
There's
not
two.
human. PCO is my dude.
Yeah.
That man is a killer.
And they've been doing their thing on Impact. They're part of that show now, too.
Oh, PCO.
Okay.
I haven't heard what he's been up to in a while.
Rolling with the Honor No More crew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what about let's talk about the Forbidden Door real quick.
Sure.
Who would most excite you guys to be able to see come through that door? Any promotion?
Damn,
I mean,
any
this
promotion?
is your chance now to come up with a dream match because it could really be anybody, essentially.
You know, I was waiting for this because I remember off cast I was telling you about it and I was like, nope, gotta save it.
Mm-hmm.
What has Bray Wyatt, aka Wyndham, been up to? Where is he going? I've seen some promos of his lately and they look good. Have you seen them?
I have not. I'm a huge fan though, of Bray Wyatt.
Anybody go on YouTube, look up the promos by Wyndham.
Wyndham? I'll check it out.
Wyndham. Yep. Ooh.
I think it's about time that we
You
see
can
him.
find it from where Bray Wyatt's gone. It's like, oh, that's one thing that I can see working so well in, multiple different places, multiple different angles with multiple different people. It can just go anywhere.
So where would you want to see him pop up at?
Ooh. I've thought about an absolute darkness battle between him and, say, Malachi Black,
That'd
the
be
House
dope.
of Black.
Yeah. Who now has a new member from this
Say,
past Wednesday.
The absolute leader of True Darkness or something.
No.
That'd be cool.
But I mean, it's because it's not like the same kind of darkness, but it's like the same kind of. It's got like almost the same intensity. I think it would be a great.
What about you, Tim?
Bro, I have no idea who would be able to come out to where. No idea whatsoever, unfortunately.
See, that's another plus though too, because it all could be a surprise, and you'd be like, I never even would have thought of that.
Of it, right? But if anything, I would love to have seen like some come out of WWE. I mean, just for the whole like the get together type of promotion.
See, WWE is like the most forbidden door.
Right. But that would be the most cool,
They
or at least the most interesting.
They did. I did see though for their last. I think what was it? The Royal Rumble. They did have say like Mickie James come back from Impact, but it's because she's got such deep ties with them. Kind of.
Right.
But that was a huge deal because she was the women's champion of Impact. So she was able. She didn't have to come. She was able to use her character, who she is in Impact, whatever. She brought that belt to WWE.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was really, really cool. And that's really the only example that I could think of too, where WWE's kind of opened up that door to work with, somewhat of another promotion.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a rich history together, Mickie James and WWE, like you said, Cody. But
it's like, say, if you got some kind of, just because of like, it's the most recent, say, if you got some kind of Moxley against some of his old boys from the Shield, Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns or something.
ticket seller, that would be amazing.
But it ain't going to happen.
It wouldn't happen. Excuse me. But once again, that would be awesome. I've often thought about that too, somehow, because I'm a big Seth Rollins fan.
Okay.
And I love Mox. Not so high on Roman still, but having with those three and their history and being able to see them three go at it, that would be that's a huge seller. That wherever that is, that promotion, that show would sell out in a heartbeat.
Okay.
For me, I'm waiting because I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet good money that I'm waiting for Jeff Hardy to
he's
make
already
his
said
return
that he's coming.
or come to AEW.
Yeah.
And doesn't have to be a big long feud, but it needs to be televised so the world could see it. Like, wrestling fans would love to see this match. I know it has happened in indies and whatnot, but once again, I say televised because, once again, a ticket seller, show sold out, the Hardy Boys versus the Young Bucks.
Oh, that would be interesting. Matt and Jeff? Love it.
It's a tag battle or tag match. I feel
Matt
like
and Jeff, Matt and Nick.
the world needs to see. It would be insane.
But who do you have winning though?
It's a battle.
I mean, the Hardy Boys getting up there.
I don't want to pick one. It's like you ever watch a match and you can't pick one and it ends in a draw and you're like, okay. I'm not mad that it ended in a draw because at the end of it, I wanted one of you to win at the start, but at the end, it was just so great. Both of you have just done such a there's no
They've
good
done
guy.
amazing.
There's no face or heels anymore. The two of you just fucking gave your heart out for wrestling.
I respect it. Yeah.
I'm with that too, but I need an
Like they
end.
just went in heavy.
I need an end. I don't fuck that draw shit for me. I
don't
need
care
a
about the
winner. No,
I've
because
only seen like I don't even remember, but I know it's only been very minimal that matches I've seen that I'm like, you both
Like, you just
deserve the
respect
draw.
it,
You
right.
both deserve the draw.
Can you? Which one?
Like I just said, I don't remember. It's so minimal that I don't even really remember it. But
Okay, but so like I said though, I think to see the Hardy Boys one time. I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be a long feud. It doesn't have to be all the time. But having the Hardy Boys fight the Young Bucks one time,
Right, one time.
televised would be insane. So
it would turn into some crazy kind of TLC match, tables, ladders, chairs, some kind of hardcore match, people coming off something, blowing bodies out.
it would be like I said, if you're a wrestling fan and you know the history of Matt and Jeff Hardy and you know the history of the Young Bucks,
Swantons all day.
you're gonna they could not have a shitty match.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, it would be insane.
Because it's like the Hardy Boys separated, individually. They've got good singles runs, but together it's the Hardy Boys.
Right. OG too.
Yeah, I know we covered and mentioned back in our first wrestling episode that we ever did. I had said that the best ladder match that I've ever seen in my life was the Hardy Boys. The first one, the Hardy Boys against Edge and Christian.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the tag team game for me,
real.
those two.
And then get ready and you could throw the Dudley Boys in the mix. And then
Whoa.
what's even going on?
Okay.
Yep. So is there anyone that you guys have been most impressed with coming through the Forbidden Door or, let's say like a rogue wrestler, just someone who's out there doing their own thing? Anyone that's impressed you recently?
Local boy from Poughkeepsie, Hale Collins, becoming the Northeast Wrestling Live champion, baby.
All right, so shout out to NEW
Shout outs for real.
for the local listeners. But what about you, Tim?
Oh no, I have nothing there either. I mean, honestly,
man.
I just know I just learned that terminology today. So honestly, no, I wouldn't have anything on it.
All right, so then I'll have to school both of you real
Please.
quick.
What do you got?
So-
Come on. What are you talking about school? I'm
So-
keeping it local.
Matt
Local
Cardona
boys.
right now, a.k.a. formerly known, let's say, as Zack Ryder.
He's been
Right.
killing it.
Yes. So
Okay.
let's get into this because you cannot know wrestling and not have heard of what he's been doing. So similar story to Cody Rhodes in the sense that he basically went from nothing to
His biggest thing in wrestling where he was his YouTube show.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shout out to YouTube.
I mean, basically, like he wasn't getting in. He had like an action figure chant, you know.
Okay.
When was the last time can you even recall the last time you saw him wrestle?
I remember. What did I just said? I remember his YouTube channel. You know.
Okay, so he was with WWE for a very long time. Never used.
He was Hawkins and Ryder. He was your Edgeheads boys.
He won the Intercontinental Championship against, I believe it was The Miz, years ago, and that was his highest peak that he reached in WWE. And not to mention, I think a day later or some shit, he lost the belt. So he won it for that night, got his moment. And I think it could have been at WrestleMania too, but not used at all. Pretty much, like I said, a very low card. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he shows up at GCW and beats Nick Gage for the belt. What the shit?
Yeah, fucking, and everybody fucking hated it.
Yeah, everybody hated it. Everyone loves Nick Gage. Their beef was real, and Matt Cardona won, and that place fucking erupted. You know, Cardona shows up on NWA, beats their heavyweight champ, Trevor Murdoch, to become the new NWA heavyweight champ.
And Trevor Murdoch's a big boy, if I remember.
So
I ain't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, so let's add another belt to Cardona. He shows up on Impact. All right, you're going to like this one, Cody. He beats, well, I don't know if you're going to like it, but you're going to like the reference. He beats Jordan Grace to become the new digital media champion.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So finishing it off with
I'd like to see her come to AEW and fuck somebody up from that Forbidden Door.
That would be cool. So who would you pick? An opponent then, a female opponent from AEW that would be good with Jordan Grace, because right now she's killing it in Impact. Like I said, Impact's roster right now is damn good. So
I would probably say come knock some fucking sense into Jade Cargill. I don't fucking like that chick. Something about her just fucking rubs me the wrong way. I don't like her.
Bro, TBS champion. She has been killing it. No one's been able to beat her.
That's your girl?
No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I like her. I'm just saying she's been killing it. She's the champ.
Yeah, truth, but I don't know. Something about I just don't no, not you. Fuck you.
There hasn't been a female yet in AEW who's been able to beat her for that title.
Okay.
Jordan Grace would have a.
Well, see, imagine somebody
chance.
walked through the Forbidden Door and did it first try.
That'd be cool.
See? Might happen. Could happen. You don't know. I don't know. Could happen.
So let me ask a question then. If they take over, and they win the belt in the first try, do they have to stay in? Do they stay into that promotion until they lose it?
Who
or
knows?
by the storyline? Or is it just
they go back and forth?
That's interesting.
It could be something long term. Could be 2 episodes.
2 episodes? Run. Okay. That's kind of tight. Because I remember very similar stuff happening in SmackDown and Raw within WWE. Like somebody will take the belt from Raw and they'll go over to SmackDown like The Rock used to always do that shit. And then somebody from or they would just have those main matches that would lead into the major stuff.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like kind of the same thing, but it's like that's that's the same company.
It's the same company, right?
Company,
so
it's like the impact is a little greater.
Right. Who benefits from? This was the question I was going to ask because I find it interesting. Who benefits the most from the Forbidden Door? Is it the smaller promotion like New Japan?
The viewers.
The fans.
The fans? Okay, the fans.
Because that's the opportunity to see real life dream matches that
Right.
you would have never ever thought because usually promotions don't work with each other.
Right.
So let's rewind it so you could maybe relate, Tim.
I would say actually everybody benefits.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but initially I think fans are the number one beneficiaries from it.
All right.
But let's rewind it. Let's say the Forbidden Door, it did exist back in the day, but let's say WWE actually used it, and let's go back to when they were actually WWF.
Okay.
So let's say back then, Attitude Era.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Stone Cold is on Raw
one
night, and then all of a sudden you hear Goldberg's music
coming
come
through.
out.
Oh my
Goldberg
God, I would
comes
lose my mind.
while Goldberg's holding the WCW championship belt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brings that shit to WWF, and now him and Stone Cold are gonna beef. That's a dream match.
That's a dream match because there's no way Goldberg is losing. I love Stone Cold though. I love him too much, but there's no way.
Yeah, no, I would have said Stone Cold would have whooped that.
You would have
ass.
said Stone
Hell
Cold too.
Yeah,
You'd have cracked the bottle
Goldberg.
over him too.
Hell yeah. But
Goldberg.
that's the forbidden door.
Oh, come on now.
No.
Goldberg was taking over forever, man.
No.
Come on.
No.
Oh my God.
Go for a walk. No.
So could you imagine Stone Cold just like putting the stunner on Goldberg?
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The fans would have lost their mind. Okay, I relate.
With the
So-
quickness. With the quickness.
With the quickness.
That's the forbidden door. That's how
That's the
we
bottom
work.
line. I feel it.
How it works.
I
And
understand it.
if you think back and recall, in the beginning of this year, Kenny Omega was the AEW champion.
Okay.
He was the TNA champion, right?
He,
That's
he
what they
was
called
like
it. Or the
he
Impact
was
champion,
freaking every champion
the AAA champion.
twice over.
He rocked.
He went to the freaking print store and said, "Make me a belt," and he was that champion too.
He rocked 3 belts at 3 different promotions, so he worked his ass off and kicked everybody's ass, rocking it on the waist and 2 on the shoulder.
Jesus Christ.
So, but that's what happens. He worked. You see him on AEW. You see him on Impact. You see him in the other AAA. But that's how it works. That's what they do.
Okay.
All right.
I respect it.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But let's move on then to, let's see. Let's think back to any promotion,
Sure.
okay? Within this past year, like we said, lots of wrestling has happened. What's the best match or a match that stands out to you guys that you saw? Like, let's think and say, if you were trying to talk to someone who either has fallen off wrestling or is not a fan at all,
Damn.
give me one match that you can recommend from this past year to re-spark their interest.
Let me see. If it was like you watched wrestling back in the day and you want to get back into it, remember
You could basically be talking to me.
it was on a Dynamite. I believe they called it Blood and Guts. It was the Inner Circle against the Pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember watching that match?
I do. I remember
That match was a war.
Yeah, they. I kind of forgot about the whole Pinnacle and their beef with the Inner Circle. Are you talking about the? Oh yeah, you did say Blood and Guts. It was actually that match was awesome.
That's
do remember the double cage.
And that was a Dynamite.
Yeah, it was on regular TV programming too, which is awesome about AEW. Shout out to them for real, because sometimes their normal Wednesday night shows and Friday night shows are like, they could be pay-per-view shows where you have to pay money. They're so good, you know. But that was a hell of a match. I do remember that. That's the one, the finishing when Jericho fell off the top.
MJF pushed that guy off the top.
Well, yeah, I remember that match actually.
MJF is a son of a bitch. He's so good. I hate to like him, but I like him because I hate him so much, and that's his job. But MJF is a piece of work.
Greatest heel in the game.
Dude, he is.
Greatest heel in the game, and he's a future star for AEW for sure.
No, MJF, screw you.
But
I got one.
I hope you hear this, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Screw you.
Back to
What'd you-
Goldberg. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. Yeah.
which when
That was last year. I watched it on YouTube, but that was like I had to just pull it up just to remember. But it was back in WWE. It was a crown jewel match.
Oh, that was in Saudi Arabia then?
Yeah. And it was a crazy ass match. That one with Goldberg spearing him through the table.
I didn't see any of that. I wasn't watching any of their product at that time. I didn't see.
You
it.
still ain't watching the product now?
Well, I just
you gotta watch that match.
I just started to recently again.
Yeah, it was no holds barred.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How'd it go? Who won?
Goldberg won.
Yeah.
But you don't like Goldberg, man. Come on. But I like Bobby Lashley too, man. He's pretty good too. But that
Lashley's injured from the last pay-per-view.
Yep.
He's out for a few weeks. And at their last Crown Jewel, Goldberg showed up too because he had I forgot who he was fighting because, I think Roman.
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He needs to hang that shit up. But
He too old. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Nah, they had kendo sticks and everything, man. That match was wild. But that would be something that I would use. But honestly, you guys should be talking to me because I'm still out of WWF and WWE and AEW and all of this.
So let me tell the world, let me tell everybody, because I know that there's only one match. I mean, the match that you mentioned, Cody, is pretty close, but I want to take it back to the All Out pay-per-view in 2021.
I was thinking about a couple matches from that too.
The steel cage match with the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Was the most incredible match I've ever seen in my life.
That match was fucking great. I'm one of those that like if you tell me to think of the best thing, I'll tell you. 2 minutes later, I'm like, wait, no, it's this one. Wait, no, it's this, and that was one of them.
Even if you were to just go like try to see some of the highlights and whatnot of that show, I've told people who ask questions, about AEW, getting interested in it. All I say is, bro, if you look up the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks and you see some of the shit that they did in this match, you could hate wrestling and be like, yo, wrestling's fake. It's not cool. It's not. You watch this match and you will be blown away.
And it's like that. And like, I also thought, I was like, wait, hold on. What about Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker? They went to war.
Best women's match in the last year, hands down.
And then what about that one match with Ty Conti and Anna Jay against the Bunny and Penelope Ford in that unsanctioned lights out match? They all killed each other.
Yeah, but that was not as good as that Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker
No, but
match.
I'm just saying.
The shitty thing about that too is because that was one of, and I think it even got awards for being one of the best matches of that entire year. They did that with no fans in the stadium. Can you imagine how wild that place would have been with that shit if there were fans in there?
Absolutely.
To have a best match of the year, like two females also, which shout out to them for real, and to have no fans, come on,
it's
bro.
like that's just a double down on working it out.
So, all right, let's move on from that the best match. Let's get everyone's opinion. Who's the hottest wrestler in the game right now? It can be any promotion, someone who you think in the next year or so, someone who you think that we're gonna hear, whose name is gonna pop off. All we're gonna hear in the next year, is so and so killing it, so and so is whatever.
I'm liking how Buddy Matthews is showing up now. He's looking good. He's looking good and cut. I hope they do something good with him with House of Black. I like I like what they're doing with them so far. I'm a big fan of him. So I'm a big fan of Malachi Black and then Brody King showing up.
Well, as am I. I love Buddy Matthews. He is, like you said, he's looking ripped.
You know what else? I also got an opinion, too. You remember Varsity Blondes?
Mm-hmm.
And they had Julia Hart with them. And he hit her with the black mist. And now she's been with the eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I've had a theory that I thought would have been the coolest to ever say if that under that eye patch, the black mist has it's poisoned her.
Mm-hmm.
And so under that, her eye is growing like Malachi's. And eventually she'll take off that and reveal. And she'll be with the house.
So you think they should add a female to that faction.
I'm just thinking that would be a cool angle.
Yeah, cool storyline. What about you, Tim?
You're going to have to school me again, bro. I'm too far out of it, man. I would not know.
All right. Well, I mean, you should know, Cody. I'm gonna always go with. I think the person right now who's the hottest star in wrestling is my man Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, I really hope they do some kind of heavy stuff between the Bucks and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish showing up
Red Dragon.
with Red Dragon between Adam Cole in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
They've got so many good things that they can do with that, I think.
Absolutely. They've kind of teased, that an angle of that happening. I think Adam Cole is going to be fighting Hangman Adam Page for the AEW belt at the next pay-per-view, and I think that match is going to be insane.
That is. I like Hangman. Fuck cowboy shit.
And I like Adam Cole, bro. Like, he has reached, I feel like, the heights of every promotion, every company that he's been in. Except, okay, you can say he never...
Wait, who's this?
Adam Cole.
Who's this you're talking about?
Adam Cole. He's never hit...
Of course.
He's never hit the He never got the WWE belt. But to have the AEW belt, he'll have it. I guarantee you. Will at some point he will be the champ.
Yeah, you say that. Not off Hangman's waist, nuh-uh.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that he's going to do it at the next pay-per-view. I know at some point he will be the champion because right now I don't know if it's smart to take the belt off of Hangman.
Adam Cole will one day be champion, but it won't be. It won't be on the back of Hangman.
Yeah, I think they can still
He's
run.
not getting the 3 off him.
I think that they can go a lot farther with Hangman right now still as the champ. But it's going to be a fucking awesome match.
It was like that was another great match of the year was that ending with Hangman and Omega for Hangman getting the title.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, he was the one to take it off.
That was
of
a
Kenny.
great, long, drawn-out story to get to the end of that.
I agree. Kenny definitely had that belt for too long. I was happy that he was the champ, but there was a time where it was too much of him. You know what I'm saying? But I actually have been curious.
But now I'm like, where'd he go?
Yeah, I've been curious.
What's he been up to?
I'm waiting for him to show back up.
Oh, my God, they killed Kenny.
But all right, so let's move on to the best submission move ever. All right. Now we want to know what the move is. All right, the name of it, and if you guys could think of like who was the OG that used it, and is there anyone today that uses it, and if so, do they call it something else or is it the same thing? We'll hit each question one by one, but
Who do you got? Season the chicken. Who do you got?
You want me to go first?
I can always go first too because that was a very easy question.
All right.
At least
Well,
I can answer.
let's let Tim go first because we've been waiting.
No, it's controversial, but
Maybe. What?
Chris Benoit,
Yeah, no, it's not controversial. I'm all ears. Tell me. That's my man. Tell me.
cripple across face,
Excellent submission.
destroys everybody. There's very few people that can get out of it and live, or you know what I mean, and get out of it and not, lose. But it's an excellent submission. I think it's Cesaro that uses it right now as well. But that submission is amazing. It was amazing.
Bryan Danielson still use that too?
I was going to say, can I have 2 answers?
I finally got one. But it's all good, man.
So
But I remember that, man. And the fact that I never really liked Chris Benoit. I just love to hate him. But when he put it on, it was like, all right, it's over. Get to the next match. It's over.
Benoit was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Oh, man. I will respect it. I respect the fact that he had a lot of heart. He just had a lot of heart. But I'm only saying that it's controversial because
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a tragedy.
it's a tragedy, so I don't even want to mess with that. But that submission hold. Whew. But when he pulls him up, it's over.
I agree. I mean, I was a huge fan of Chris Benoit too.
Yeah.
And I love that move, man. Yeah. So go ahead then, Cody. Hit us with your 2.
I always liked it when there was never any escape. Once Taz come up from behind you and locked you into the Kata Hajime.
Oh my God.
That
yes.
Kata Hajime.
Holy crap.
And now his boy Hook is apparently using it, but I haven't seen him lock it in as good. He's not as good as his daddy.
Anyone? Okay, so you did say Hook. Do you know anyone else that uses that?
I mean, well, Taz, that's all that really matters. I have no idea, so.
Okay.
Taz was a fucking killer.
He was a beast, yeah.
What you got? Who you got?
That was your only one that you want to?
No, just come on. I don't know. You only said one. You only said what's your favorite?
I think the best submission ever is the Texas Cloverleaf.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the OG to have used it was Dean Malenko.
Damn, Dean Malenko for real.
That was his move. The Cloverleaf is such a dope move. And
Dean Malenko's another killer in
That's
the
an
streets.
OG, yeah.
hell yeah.
Jesus Christ. Haven't heard that name in a minute.
Go watch Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero way back in
Of
the day in
course.
ECW.
Oh my
the whole
God.
match is just an entire standoff.
Yeah. Jesus.
They just counter each other continuously.
Yeah, I don't think anybody uses that really in today's game. I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but off the top of my head, I don't think I haven't seen anybody really use that as a finisher or as a move. You know what I'm saying? There may be somebody out there, but not one that I remember. So, what's your second one then, Cody? So hold on, let's say real quick. We hit Crossface Crippler.
Yep.
We hit.
We hit Taz.
Kata Hajime.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. And we hit the Texas Cloverleaf. So
Sometimes because it just seems so god dang effective. Something like just like a simple ankle lock, baby.
Okay.
Bro.
Respect it.
ankle lock was a good move. Who was the
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle. Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Cesaro had an ankle lock.
I mean,
Yo, the ankle.
I would have
Yeah.
taken back even farther. I think the best person that ever did the ankle lock was Ken Shamrock.
There
Okay.
you go.
Bless. Yeah.
See, like I said, a simple move.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it puts him away.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned the sharpshooter or the figure four.
Sharpshooter, yeah.
All good moves, but yeah, no. I mean, my
Yeah,
vote
figure
was
four.
still the Cloverleaf. But let's move on real quick to the last topic that we're going to talk about tonight, or the last thing. Let's talk about the Undertaker. All right. This year he is has been inducted in this year's WWE's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well deserved.
God bless.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yep.
Okay, you guys got any memories about the Undertaker? I mean, he was around when we were kids, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
A lot of the Undertaker versus Hogan. A lot of the Kane versus Undertaker. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff there. Yeah.
I would probably have to say
Tombstone and everybody.
my favorite memory, like my favorite match that I feel like he should have ended it with, just because I like the presentation, the whole thing. I don't remember which WrestleMania it was at, but he wrestled Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels came out all in white, and you know how the Undertaker is, so it was like the light versus the dark.
The dark. Yeah. I feel
And
it.
I just liked the whole setup, and I was like, this is it. This is it.
yeah, I've heard a lot of people refer to that match between them two at that WrestleMania as being one of the best matches that between Taker and Shawn Michaels
It's
ever.
like the match and just like the whole presentation, the entrance, everything. It just seemed like it was like
Just magical.
we're at the end of the world. Good,
Good versus evil.
Yeah.
For real. I was gonna say Undertaker versus Bret Hart, but this is way back in like the 90s, like 97. That one was pretty legit too. Damn, there's so many.
Let me-
I mean, he's had 21 different WrestleMania
Yeah,
moments, and
man,
then
he's had
there's
so
all the
many.
different. And this I totally discredit the whole American Badass Undertaker era.
he was all right with that one.
Get that out of here.
Not my favorite by any means because it was completely different, but the fact that he was able to take that character, you know what I'm saying?
He worked with it though, so
yeah.
credit to him. But it was
It wasn't the original. I feel it.
Should he be the only inductee this year in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, I don't see why. It just should be people that are, like worthy of the greatness.
The greatness, yeah.
Yeah, because WWE.
I mean, I guess for what their Hall of Fame is worth,
Right. Well, what they usually do is they usually always have multiple people.
Right. I mean, they are inductees, though. Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, have you guys seen in like the Hall of Fame speeches and shit?
Yeah.
So you guys, there's usually a bunch of people, and they're all getting inducted finally and whatnot. But if you guys both say that, you guys both said that it should.
I mean, if it is only the Undertaker, if they do his ring entrance, it will be long enough to incorporate an entire.
That's true.
Hall
the Hall of Fame
show,
right? For real,
because it'll take him a half an hour to get to the podium, and then he'll just be like, or something like that.
Oh, but it'll
just go bung.
But Paul Bearer is passed though. I feel it. Man. Rest in peace to him.
They'll do a hologram.
Or something like that. They have to, because you need the full effect.
But I don't think he should be the only one.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, like I said, unless you deserve it.
Okay, well then let me ask you. Or go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say I'm guessing you saying that he deserves to be the only one.
I do, but I'll tell you why.
Okay,
after.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll tell you after, because I did want to say though that excuse me, I just lost my train of thought. My fault.
Why he should be the only one?
Well, I did want to ask you both because you both had said he shouldn't be.
Well, like I said, he could be. I said he shouldn't be if the others are deserving.
Right, if they're just as good. Yeah.
If let's say if you were to be called, right, and you guys were wrestlers and whatnot, and you guys were being inducted too, knowing that the Undertaker is going to be inducted this year's Hall of Fame, would you want to go before him?
Hell yeah. Honestly speaking, being in the same room as your boy getting inducted.
But
What? So you mean if they called me up and they were like, "Yo, dude, boy, you want to get inducted into the HOF? You want to go into the League of Greatness?"
Yeah, along with this giant behind you.
And I'm like, "What?" I'd be like, "Who the hell am I?"
No,
exactly. I would be humble.
That's just how I am. I'm like, no, what? No.
But I mean, if you earned it though,
I mean, even if other people were like, "Yeah, yo," I'd be like,
okay.
I don't. If you say so.
All right.
So if you were a wrestler and shit, and someone was like, "Yo, bro, you were getting inducted, and this year you actually got that much skill," you wouldn't care.
I mean, I guess I'd be like, "Wow, cool," but I mean.
Of course.
It's me, but I mean, cool.
But
thanks.
people know you to be amazing, though. But maybe that's how it would be, though. That's interesting, actually.
I'd be like, sure. Yeah, cool. Thanks. I try.
You have such a cool mind. You have such a cool mindset about it because I would be losing my mind, especially coming before Undertaker. Are you kidding me? That would be like I would just be panic and just knowing that I'm in the same room with this guy.
I mean, I wouldn't still be like, "Oh, yo, yeah."
Yeah, exactly. Looking up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this point, because if you
that's
guys,
all I'd be able to say.
you guys, if being wrestlers, right?
Right.
Okay, if you guys were wrestlers and being inducted, you guys wouldn't be fanboys right now over him because you guys would have had
but in my mind,
countless matches.
Yeah.
Correct. Right.
Doesn't mean not necessarily not true.
You would fanboy out in the open?
Some wrestlers are still wrestling with old timers, and they're like,
"Yeah, pointing them out.
You're why I did this, and I'm getting to wrestle you, dude. This is great."
Right.
What is life right now where I get to wrestle you? You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. But I mean, being inducted like in the Hall of Fame and whatnot. I'm just saying, I think that if anybody's going to get inducted before him or after him,
okay. Give him a wide space.
the fans who are there to see him, they skipping over you,
Oh,
bro.
of
I don't
course,
care.
I
They
respect
brushing
it.
over you.
Yeah,
Let's get all these other people over with. Why are we here? Because we're all here. Bottom line, let's fucking face it, to see the Undertaker. It's the Undertaker.
But
I mean, I respect it. Yes, I agree.
It's
I
still
agree.
like what I said. If it's deserved, if they're just like, oh, this guy, he's been here 8 years.
Right.
He started like what? Oh,
But Undertaker probably been there since they were like kids or born in some
true
cases.
that. So,
So-
it's kind of like what. Is it like, did he have to like officially stop working to be able to go into it? Why wasn't he in it sooner?
That's also a good question. That's a very good question, actually. Yeah.
Because didn't Kane is in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He stopped
And
working.
Stopped working. Yeah.
Is that why he went in? And like,
Yeah,
come on,
that's a good question.
Undertaker. If you think about it, Undertaker would have been in before Kane.
Oh, way before.
absolutely.
I'm not
like by
I'm-
10 years.
I'm not denying Kane. He was awesome. I fucking loved Kane.
Right.
But
No,
he
very
stopped
valid.
working, so he went in. Undertaker was still working, even if it was just like cinematic matches
Right.
where it was like all a pre-recorded movie looking kind of thing. But
But I respect.
did they have to stop working to go into it? Is that how it works?
Pretty
You know what
much.
I mean?
Maybe the pretext.
That's-
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, usually pretty much.
You're still in play. You can't, dude.
Well, I mean, it's understood. It's understood. Like once you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
And unless you come back for some whatever reason. But I totally understand the
If
whole
you go
thing
in the
about
Hall
it.
of Fame, you can come back for like county fair type shit.
Right. You could
throw
be out
one-
there on the side.
You throw one pitch and then you're done.
Right.
And it's for a 7-year-old to hit it. It's not an official pitch,
But you have the official walkout and everything.
Yeah.
Have cut a little promo and never seen again.
And then they're like, ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. And then he's like, where's my check?
Yo, that'd be happening, man. That'd be happening. Yeah.
Yeah, Undertaker's the greatest character that WWE has ever created, hands down. There's not one,
And the tenure on
I
it.
respect it.
and that's what I'm saying.
Tenure on it.
He's loyal. Name another wrestler who spent his entire career with one promotion.
I can't name another one.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was just about to say with one gimmick, but then American Badass, I'm going to throw it in the garbage.
That's what I'm saying. Even though it was bad, he was able to use that.
He was
He
using it,
transformed.
And
He
then
was able to
transformed
play
himself
two
back.
different characters
Right.
that everybody loved. Like
And it was like he still kept like a dark theme about it.
He had
But-
that motorcycle though.
Yeah, and it still had a very like dark theme about
Right.
it. But
He was still intimidating no matter what.
yeah, but
Yeah.
my one problem, I guess, with me saying though that Undertaker should be the only inductee this year is the fact that WWE's never ever done that. Ever.
Just one?
Just one.
Do you think they'll do it now? What do you think? What's your opinion on it?
I know that's what I'm saying. I think that I think Undertaker should be the only one for the reasons why we said like it's all about him.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. He put in more work than anybody else.
Not
for
to
sure.
mention, technically, if you get that phone call saying like, you have been inducted in this year's Hall of Fame and whatnot, you can postpone or refuse and be, yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'll get
On
at
to
you
the
next
next
year.
one.
I'll
Wow,
get at you next
interesting.
year.
give him a DX suck it.
Yeah. So, am I saying though? Here's the problem. So, there's been tons of awesome wrestlers to come out of WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ones that are better, more talented than the Undertaker. So, you know what I'm saying? Are we saying that, or really what I'm saying, but I'm asking is Undertaker then better than John Cena or a Rock?
So that's very interesting. I think an older version of Undertaker, yes, probably, but a newer, let me reverse that. A younger Undertaker would be better, but an older Undertaker, he was kind of there. He was just kind of there. So, like a lot of the newer players that started coming in like 10, 15 years after is going to definitely be better, in my opinion.
Because you mentioned John Cena, what I always thought when I was watching it, and I'd see him all the time, I'd be like, man, fucking John Cena, man.
You didn't like him, did you? Yeah. He made you like him.
I liked when he had his U.S. Open Challenge run, and like Kevin Owens showed up from NXT first time on the main roster and beat John Cena for the U.S. title in John Cena's U.S. Open Challenge. But I was always like, John Cena, man, I'm sick of this guy. Get out of here. But then it was like once he was gone, I was like, I kind of miss John Cena. I kind of miss John Cena.
Yeah, exactly.
A generational star. Like I'm saying, you could love him or hate him, but he was
and he
huge.
built himself into that.
Like
too.
when he comes back, if I saw him come back, I'd probably pop for John Cena.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If you think back, you can't think. There are some stars that are above other stars.
Right.
John Cena being one of them.
Right.
Rock, like I said.
Rock,
now what? You can't have separate Hall of Fame inductees for each and every one of these people.
But that happened though.
No, I'm saying single.
Like a single, like a generational.
No, like what
this
I'm
changed
saying.
the game for this generation.
What I'm saying is like Undertaker, solo inductee, right?
All right.
Only one. But when it's time for John Cena to get his ass in the Hall of Fame, same with The Rock, we can't do one inductee in one whole show. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know
I see what
I'm
you're saying. I feel it.
So
you're saying that Undertaker overall, throughout all of the years of him, he's over like The Rock, John Cena,
Well, see, and like I was like what we were saying, if you're like officially done, it's like because Dwayne can always show up and be The Rock.
The Rock, right?
He can always be The Rock,
right?
Because he's The Rock,
right?
But Mark Calloway ain't gonna show up and be like, "Hi guys, hi, I was the dead man,"
Jesus.
He was the Undertaker, and if he's hung up that character, then he's done.
All right, I respect it.
Because he's been
done.
like we were saying, he's been that one character for
literally ever.
Yeah.
So,
and it's worked for him, and he's worked it. So he's done. He's done.
Okay.
It's
so
like
he should be the solo.
The Rock can always show up and do appearances.
Right. Even if it's just for like that 30 seconds.
I'm not
30
saying
minutes.
The Rock may not soon go into the Hall of Fame. Maybe even same with John Cena, or just because of how they were like faces of the company, kind of thing. Is Stone Cold in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
I believe he already is. I believe that I think Vince McMahon was the one that
initiated it.
Maybe it all comes down to taking bumps in the ring. Maybe Stone Cold won't take bumps anymore. He'll give bumps. He'll dole out the stunners left and right. But he's like, don't touch me.
Well, I think like when you enter the Hall of Fame, when you enter the Hall of Fame, it's basically known.
2009.
You may come back.
Damn, really? Stone Cold?
Yep.
Damn, what?
You may come back for a special match here and there, but we're not having storylines for weeklies or whatever. So that's why I don't know. I'm gonna stay. I'm holding to it.
That's where Goldberg should have stayed. A one match back, and it's like, whoa, it's Goldberg. Okay, go away.
Yeah, so I'm holding to the opinion of that Undertaker should be the only one inducted in this year's Hall of Fame. What they do in the future, I don't know, because it really does make it difficult, like I said,
but
for those future people.
For like me, I'd have to think about somebody else that would have to go in with him. I can't. What he deserves to go in.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all for that, but I think he should be the only one.
But it's also just their Hall of Fame. So I'm like, I got to narrow my thought down to just them and people that worked for them back in the day that aren't already in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could be like, this guy should go in. It's like, he's already in there. I'm like, oh, well, then I got nothing. Give it to the Undertaker, I guess, then. He's the only one. At least we got somebody.
Yeah, so then last question, who should induct him?
Damn. Well, the person that should have inducted him passed away, in my opinion.
Yeah, Paul Bearer would have been a good one.
That would have been the one.
Kane's definitely got Glenn Jacobs. Kane,
yeah, respect.
Kane definitely has to be involved.
I can see that. I could even see Vince.
Dude,
Jesus.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like they might have to have all hands on deck for it.
I could even see some crazy shit like Hulk.
If that's it, if they're pulling he's the only one.
Yeah, they got to bring out everybody.
They can make an all hands on deck kind of thing. And I think everybody would show up.
Oh, definitely. All of his crazy rivals would show up.
Anybody and everybody.
That would be ridiculous.
I actually agree. I think there's too many people
that would show up. Oh yeah,
who could induct him. But I think the two
would be a 2-day WrestleMania event out of just putting him into it. He'd be like, "Can we be done? Are we done yet? Holy Christ!"
The two that should induct him are the ones that you both had mentioned. Without a doubt, Kane should be, and Vince McMahon. Those
Vince,
two.
Yeah.
Vince for being the one, back in the day.
Way back in the day.
Finding,
right.
The Undertaker. Like I said, best character that WWE's ever had or created. And Kane, obviously.
Fucking most tenured.
Huge part of his entire career.
Oh, for
with
real.
The whole Brothers of Destruction.
Mm-hmm. Jesus. And did
dope.
they destroy? Oh, my God. They would just destroy in a couple minutes and then just leave. It's just like, Jesus.
Remember when people were like,
Unstoppable.
"Oh, they're not really brothers."
Oh, I remember that too. In school, they were like, "Yo, it doesn't even matter. Just let them just destroy everything."
Remember, I used to have this wood-burning stove back in the day, and I had a Kane action figure, and the mask you could take off, and it was just like some regular, like, generic face.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't right. His face is burned, so I put it on the side of the
And you
wood-burning
burned
stove.
it? Oh, my God.
And anytime we used the stove, like the next winter, it smelled like burnt, nasty-ass rubber in the house. You're like, what happened? I was like, I don't know.
You had to get the cane on. It's all good.
They were like, did you burn Kane? I was like, he was already burned.
He was scarred.
That's why he wears the mask. Oh, where you been?
All right, so we're gonna bring this down to an end, but let's get any last thoughts? Anything wrestling related? Anything you guys want to lay on us?
We'll say this: I'm definitely trying to get back in, and I would like to ask you guys, what should I start with to get right back into wrestling, like deep into it? Should I start with AEW? Should I start with Impact?
They're pretty much hand in hand, but AEW.
If you need something easy that you can watch anytime, YouTube, man.
YouTube, yeah.
If you want something like I don't know anybody, like you're saying, just put in AEW Dark,
Okay.
AEW Elevation,
Okay.
or even just like look up wrestling promotions. Put in wrestling promotion names into YouTube, and it's like the internet is a great way to find out about different wrestlers and stuff.
Okay.
Like I said, you want to start somewhere and watch something amazing that will literally blow your mind. You just look up the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Exactly.
And the things that you'll experience and see, I guarantee you have not seen in the last few years of wrestling.
For sure. Okay.
So it's... Like I said, that match, I tell so many people about that too, and when they watch it, they blown away. So,
The thumbtacks on the shoe.
Yeah,
Jesus,
bro,
Jesus Christ,
insane.
Sounded more like ECW than anything. Yeah.
Imagine taking a Jordan to the cheek with a bunch of thumbtacks.
Jesus,
on the
Yo, that is ECW level. Okay.
So, Cody, anything else?
Have you? Speaking of the Lucha Brothers. You heard anything about Rey Fenix with that arm?
I have not. I'm waiting for his return.
God damn.
Yeah. But anything else?
No, just watch wrestling. Just go watch wrestling.
Yes, sir.
It's fun.
I'll be on it.
It's fun.
All right. So, Cody, thanks for giving us some of your time and agreeing to come back on It's All Relative. Anyone or anything you want to shout out or plug?
No, just aside from you guys and your cast, man, It's All Relative. Thanks for having me back. It's always
No
fun.
problem,
It's just chilling. It's just a conversation, bud. Just come on by and chill and give them a listen.
My man.
Shout outs.
Oh, man. You want to hit everyone with any social media accounts or?
No, I got nothing. I'm nobody. You don't know me. I just like wrestling.
Respect.
I'm just a guy.
He's just a guy.
I'm just a guy.
He doesn't want to be in the Hall of Fame either.
I'm like, no,
I'm good.
I ain't worth it. But if you like me, I mean, sure, if you say so.
God bless.
No, I'm just here. Just be good. Be nice to people.
Damn,
oh, man.
I love it, man.
Social media account, bro.
Well, I got one at least. Twitter, Retro Show, RetroSho. You see the Kermit is me. And then on YouTube, in reverse, Show Retro.
You guys can always find me at Josh_Toth3. That's my Instagram. My Facebook is Joshua Toth. The message options on Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, everything. Tim,
And
you want to fill them in?
Please. That message option. You got to hit that message button. You can hit the plus. You can leave us a voicemail. You can talk about wrestling. You can ask any question you'd like. You can give shout outs. You can give shout outs to my man to Cody, everybody. Or you could tell us that we're garbage. We just want to hear from you. Just send in a message.
Hit him with a foreign object.
Hit him with a foreign object. Throw something at him.
I just said be nice to people, and then I turned heel
nice.
on you.
Be very nice. But
Heel turn.
But seriously, though, you can hit that plus button. You can talk about anything. You can critique us. You can tell us if we're doing good. You can just give shout-outs. You can even give shout-outs to your family. We just want to see something. We will play it back on the next episode, and we'll respond to it. So use that message option.
Yeah, to all those fans who have used the message option on whatever platform, those of you who have typed messages in or have contacted us about previous episodes we've done, we thank you.
We thank you. We love you.
So, big shout out to Stellar Sound and Media and our editor, YO, a.k.a. Jackson Wallace. Reminder that you guys can find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and Google. Leave some reviews. Leave a rating.
5-star.
5-star preferred.
Please.
So, all right, bro.
Those.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Cody, thanks again.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay kind, stay proud and powerful, and we'll see everyone soon. Peace.
Peace out.